someone in the crowd shouted, "Show me your tits!"
It went up and it broke.
Oh.
You could feel the growth.
Introduce yourselves to each other.
I'm Andrew Tang, I'm 34 this year. Outside the ring, I'm the founder of Singapore Pro Wrestling. Inside the ring, I'm the first ever pro wrestler of Singapore, the dasher of dreams, the destroyer of destinies. The 4 times SPW Southeast Asia champion, 2 times AWGC Junior Heavyweight champion. The statement, Andrew Tang. Yeah! Remember that? It's been a while, but always gotta remember that, alright? And you?
I'm Teresa. I'm 24 this year and I'm currently in between jobs. I don't have as long as the title as you, but I think that's fine.
I'm Celine and I'm 25 this year. Outside of the ring, I'm currently a preschool teacher. Currently, I'm not doing pro wrestling.
How do you get started in wrestling and what drew you to the sport?
Please, Celine first.
My grandfather, when I was growing up, loved wrestling. So I started watching wrestling when I was 3. And I think at that time it was Evolution running the storyline. So that's how I got hooked. And growing up, I just fell in love with the sport afterwards. Yeah.
I don't know, for me, it's like, I feel like wrestling, it's amazing. You know, like you say, you're able to touch lives. And I think I like the, the rock and roll lifestyle, center of attention, especially, when you walk down the ramp in front of like 50,000 people, 100,000 people, and then you're able to have the ability to capture and mesmerize the crowd with the palm of your hands, your emotions. You become like a larger than life superhero or supervillain, something that, you can escape from this world. So to me, I feel like wrestling is a drug. It keeps, drawing you back always over and over again because, this is something that we love.
I remember going to my grandma's house when I was like single digits years old. I single digits years old because I don't remember how old I was. And then my sister was watching wrestling on the TV, and then until this year I don't remember what the match was, but I remember someone sitting in the ring and calling out for like a championship match or something like that. And then their opponent came out and just whacked the guy like nobody's business. And like, just picture this, like as a little maybe 6-year-old girl sitting in front of a large TV, right? And I was just laughing my butt off at this guy getting smacked into the wall and stuff.
And then fast forward a couple of years, and then you're the one doing the smacking, the smackdown on Candy Ash, right? I knew it.
Being a female wrestler, do you ever encounter unwanted sexual attention?
Oh, that's the juicy
That's
one.
the juicy one.
That's the juicy one. Please share your experiences. I'm sure both of you have a lot.
Wait, actually, what do you think that we experience?
Okay, what do you think we experience?
Yeah, what do you, but like, what kind?
Obviously, all the DMs, and then like, like people, like all the fans wanting to go out with you guys, you girls, obviously, like, I mean, like, Alexis has shared some stories with me before about a guy like wanting to propose to her, saying like he got HDB, and then like, my God, it's weird, man. Like a stalker, Yeah. So I want to hear as well, Yeah. I mean, we can always definitely see that in the dormitory shows as well, lah. I won't say much, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the dormitory show.
I think we need to have like security guards and stuff, right? Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3 incidents come to mind. So the first one was, we did a fatal 4-way match. And then particularly in that show, when I gave Teresa a slap to the face, and then it was in the crowd. Then when we went back in, then we did a few moves, and then someone in the crowd shouted, "Show me your tits!"
Oh God.
At me, and I was like,
Oh,
huh? And I was like, I was trying to like, breathe, breathe.
Show me your man tits, bitch. You say that.
Oh my God, I'm like, and then like when I gave Teresa the slap, I can hear like little chatter like, ooh, like she dressed like so and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a bit, I mean, I don't personally take offense to it actually, because I mean, I'm performing a show and that's not me, that's my character. But if someone were to say it to me outside of the ring, then I'll be very pissed and quite upset, to be honest. And then DMs wise, I remember one guy, he couldn't stop DMing. At first, I just like, okay, he's just a fan, so let's just like say hi and then say thanks for like wanting to watch me. And then because I replied, he just kept screenshotting my matches, and then like in the schoolgirl pin, my legs were out like this.
Oh,
And he screenshot that
yeah,
scene and then
yeah,
he sent it to me. He was like, "Ooh, I love you in that position."
Oh God.
Like, no, please. And then there was one more. It was one of the podcasts. I don't think he does it anymore, but he was trying to do a podcast based on Singapore wrestling. And then he asked, I don't know, you think you know the guy. So he asked me to be his first guest. Then I was like, or second guest. Then I was like, okay, sure, let's do it lah. Quite cool ma. Then as like I talked to him, then he started getting more and more personal and a bit more sexual. He started asking me about my personal life.
Oh dear.
Then he even asked me like if I masturbate or something.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, legit. And then I was like, okay, bye.
Okay, wait, but the thing you mentioned was dormitory shows. One of like the first memories I remember was my debut match. And okay, to give you credit, like all the guys at the back, they were like, yeah, don't go too close to the barricades. Like they will just grab you. But the thing is, I wasn't that close. There was like a good distance between me and the barricade. But this guy, like
Jumped
at the end of
out.
it, no, his arm shot out. He grabbed me by the back of the neck and pulled me in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was just like, I mean, at the moment, it was like kind of fight or flight, so I just went under his arm.
Oh.
So-
lucky.
But I was like, what the heck? Because like he pulled me like almost like it was almost in slow motion, and then his lips like kind of puckered, like ready to like kiss me or something. Now I was just like, okay, yeah, let's not do that.
Slap him in the face.
So gross.
Yeah.
Hands off the merchandise.
I mean, guys can do that easily, but girls, we can't overpower guys. easily.
Yeah. Luckily, he grabbed from one side, so like I could kind of escape the other way. But I was just like, oh my gosh. And then the other thing that you mentioned is a guy that we will not name because I don't want to give him that power.
Okay.
And we were doing grappling, like Olympic wrestling kind of stuff. Because
Spill the tea, girl.
so he got me on. I mean, with grappling, you kind of do a lot of stuff like on the floor. This sounds so weird, but like you kind of do a lot of stuff on the floor. And he got me on the floor, my front. I sat up. I was trying to get up, right? I was like on all fours trying to get up because he got me on the floor. And then his hands, instead of being here, which is like where the safe spot is, right? It went up and it groped. You could feel the grope. And like, I mean, back then I wasn't very comfortable saying it, but like now I'm just like, I mean, it's not only me probably. So if I say it, then maybe other people will kind of say it, but like, I felt so like dirty for a while. I mean, it wasn't really my fault even. Like, it was just him being. I'm sorry if I can't cuss, but he was just him being a kid, and he just went for the grab, and I was like, and immediately like I remember my brain shut down because I was like, what the hell is happening? It took me a few months to really process that it happened, and then I only came like to terms with it properly when there was the whole Me Too movement coming, and I was like, oh shit, that happened to me. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It was so sad hearing about it from Teresa when the Me Too movement came out also.
I'm sorry to hear what you have been through, but SPW will ensure that such experiences will never happen ever again. If there's an incident like this, please sign off to the trainers and will not hesitate to call the police down to ensure that this matter will be resolved.
I think guys in this kind of profession, especially when they're working with ladies, I think they should know how to be professional and stuff at what they do. You know, there's no way to treat a lady or even treat a guy like that as well. You know, it's basic respect, especially when in sport pro wrestling, there's a lot of like physical contact involved. Yeah, so you know, like I think usually if I wrestle a grapple of girls or usually wear a t-shirt, yeah, it's not too much of body movement and body contact.
After like I properly processed everything, I kind of talked to my guy friend first, because I met up with them, and then they kind of asked like, oh, does this thing kind of happen to you? Do you encounter these kind of things? So I told them about that experience, and then they didn't say it explicitly, but the way that they like phrased it and the way that they asked, they were like, oh, but don't you kind of sign up for these kind of things? So I was like, I mean, if I'm going to tell a guy, because, I mean, you're a guy, and if I'm going to tell a guy and the first thought is like, oh, but it's a full body sport, it's a full contact sport, like, don't you kind of like anticipate these kind of things to happen? Like, it's kind of messed up. Like, I mean, like, yeah, I'm aware that it's a risk, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I expect it to happen to me.
I mean, accidental contact is one thing, but
Yeah.
that was like full on.
it was a full
Like even you can feel a feeling there, that means something is wrong, right? Like I mean, I've given like girls chop to the chest, but I'll make sure it's the chest and not like anything lower, right? Have you ever encountered gender bias or stereotypes related to your involvement in wrestling?
I think stereotypes, like you don't hear people saying, oh, you should be like this or you should be like that, but like an unsaid thing would be like the body image. Like I don't know, like there's always like, oh, you have to look like this person to like wrestle, you have to look like this person to wrestle. I got a lot of like, oh my god, you wrestle but you're so tiny, and I'm like, I know I'm vertically like challenged, but you don't have to keep reminding me that I'm short. But yeah, then I mean, for guys it's like building muscle like is easier. I wouldn't say it's easy. I mean, you still have to put enough like your whole like will and your want to build muscle, but like trying to get into like a certain shape like as a girl, I guess would be a bit more hard. And then with Singapore's beauty standard, it's a very tall, pale, leggy, like kind of Korean standard beauty. And it's like, I mean, if you're big bone or you're bigger like build, it's a bit harder to get into that, and it kind of gets to your mind.
If I were to tell someone that, like, let's say I tell my colleague now that I'm doing wrestling, they'll be like, huh? Wrestling? Like, they will first think of MMA, or they will think of the Olympic sport wrestling. But I'm like, no, I'm doing like the TV wrestling, like, you know, WWE kind. Then they're like, huh? But like, because their impression usually will be like, the wrestling from 20 years ago, where ladies are doing bra and panties matches. I'm like, then you're doing that and things like that. Then I think even my own family will have such an impression, which I mean, I don't blame them. This is fact and this is what used to happen, but it's not what is happening anymore. Yeah, but it's, so sometimes I actually don't bring up the fact that I do wrestling because I don't want to explain myself.
And like, sometimes you kind of don't want to get nagged by like that one family member that's like, oh, but you're a lady, you shouldn't be doing such rough and tumble things or like something like that. And I'm just like, oh my god, can you just get out of like the stone age? Like, women are doing much more than like just, I mean, they're doing so many things now.
Wrestling also has aesthetic considerations, such as costumes and presentation. How do you approach these aspects? And do you think there are different expectations for women in this regard?
Guys don't need makeup.
No, I mean, if let's say I have like a lot of pimples, then I'll probably like put on some concealer to make yourself look good lah.
The thing is like the expectation of a woman is to have full face makeup, very nice hair always in the perfect place. Whereas for guys, like you said, concealer doesn't take as much time as eyeshadow.
No, I think for guys it's just the physique, really. It's just like we always try to like look better, you know, maybe just slightly dehydrate before the match. Yeah. Like usually for my matches, I usually don't eat because I'm too swamped with work and then like focusing on running the event and my matches. Yeah. I don't know, I always feel like I look fat in the videos, like sometimes. Then when I look back, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna post this, I look bad, I look fat, like why am I so watery, you know? That kind of thing. Yeah. For a guy lah, yeah, because I take pride in what I do and I want to like make sure I look good because you never know like when people like watch your video, some big scout or some big wrestling talent might look at you. Yeah, so always need to look like larger than life, look like very presentable when I do my matches. Yeah, especially in SPW matches. Yeah.
But the thing is that guys can go out with like a bird's nest on their head and it'll be okay. But then like I feel like they need to
No, for me, it's like inside the match, I don't care. Like before when I walk out, I need to look 100%. But inside the match, I look like it's okay because I'm fighting, right? I don't give a fuck about my hair and stuff, right? Like I make sure I look like as ravaged as possible, like a rabbit Wolverine, right? I just want to like.
But I feel like a girl
right?
cannot do that even in the middle of a match.
True. Yeah. You're still need to look graceful. Yeah.
And I think like for me, because my costume is more covered, maybe like covered from here to my thigh at least. So I feel that sometimes there's like an expectation that I should reveal more. I don't know.
I mean, go for it lah. I mean, if it's your dream, then just go for it. Like, it's honestly one of like the best times to join female wrestling now because like before, like you mentioned, the times have changed. Women's wrestling is no longer toilet break matches. Oh gosh, I hate that phrase so much. It was called toilet break matches because everyone were always like, oh, it's the females? Okay, let's go to the toilet. You know, and then there's more opportunities for women now. Like, you know, you see WWE, they get to do ladder matches, they get to do cage matches. Like, as a kid, like that little 6-year-old laughing maniacally in front of a table, right? I would have loved to do like a match like that. But I would have loved to be like
very sadistic.
I would have loved to be like Mankind, you know, just thrown from the top of the cage. I mean, and like
And
honestly,
then your mom will come and like me up over text or
I mean, like
stab
not
me
in
or
Singapore,
something.
like somewhere that she can't get her hands on me, you know.
Okay.
Going to show your mom this.
I don't think so. Not
Sure.
after what I just confessed.
Oh no. Similarly, I would still say go for it, but I'm more cautious as a person. So I would say like go for it at your own risk.
Yeah,
Or like yeah, at your own risk, because I mean I can't tell you to go for it and then you go in and then you get injured and then you're like, but Celine told me I can try. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I don't
really,
want to
right? The
be-
ring is
I
not
don't
like
want-
mom's California king
Yeah,
size
but-
bed, right? Like,
yeah.
it's so much more to wrestling than just acting or like, you know, movements and stuff like this. You need to be, timing be really precise. It's physical theatre. It's like, actually like dance, you know? Like, I mean, this is like dance and physical theatre all combined together.
But I mean, I still don't want to be the devil's advocate. But if you're already thinking, if you think about it, will you regret not joining more or will you regret just trying?
Yeah, I mean, come on, you all walked out in front of like 400, 500 people, right? Like, you all shared the same locker room with Kenny Omega, Pete Dunne. Yeah, they're all like top stars in the wrestling industry, right? It's a feel good feeling, all right? Yeah.
Okay, but like take note of the risks. like you said, like I mean, not only like
Anything in
injuries,
life
but
there's
like
risk also. You play golf also, you can injure your wrist.
This
right?
is why men
Dance also, you
bias
can injure your
faster.
ankle, right?
I mean, like we think about it. Like
This is why women live longer.
It's okay lah. Thankfully, I'm still alive lah. Thankfully, I'm still alive.